And now that we are starting our new year, one of the other things we always want to talk about was what new goals we have. We started talking this about a little bit about this at the beginning of the show, but we got a lot more people here now, so I want to bring it back up again. What are if anybody wants to share any goals they have for themselves in game versus any goals they may have for themselves out of game, you can include both. I know the missus and I are both always very curious about your out of game goals, but I'm perfectly content just talking about in game goals as well. As far as in game goals here, I hit Ops 47 yesterday, 2 days ago. Whenever the event started spending materials for Jadzia shards. Which, shouldn't this have ended? No, it's got one more day left on it. So we got one more day of the infrastructure events, so we will gain some more power here. So I did push up to Ops 47 from doing that. I'll continue moving on there. My 2023 goal is to get to Ops 50. Ideally before the end of the year, 47 to 50, I feel like is attainable by the end of the year. It's a lot of materials and a lot of resources, but hopefully I'll be pulling some stuff now from, the battle pass and things like that, and higher level chests, and consistently getting refinery pulls and Bajoran chest pulls and things like that for those resources. We may get a few oopsie chests along the way. I'd also like to get my Pylum up 2 more tiers. I'm almost done with tier 4. I need 1 more component to get tier 4. I would like to get that done. I'll get that done in the immediate future, so that's a short-term goal. Once I get the 11,000 interceptor parts that I need for this. So this maybe by the end of this month, maybe hopefully I'll have that. That's kind of an ambitious goal, but hopefully we can source those interceptor parts. And then to take it 1 more tier after that, hopefully by the summer, and get it up to tier 6. I'll continue working on my Defiant in the meantime. That cool new little ship, get that up 3 to 4 tiers by the summer. Will be another intermediate type goal. And keep moving things along. And then on my free-to-play account over here, where did it go? The free-to-play account, which is Ops 35. I'm pretty close to moving up to Ops 36. I would like, obviously, to do that. My auger on this account is tier 4. I would like to get this by the end of the year maxed. It's kind of an ambitious goal. We'll definitely get it up a few more tiers, but hopefully between, again, new sourcing and new reductions and things like that, and efficiencies and favors and things, to get this ship maxed out by the end of the year seems like it's well within my wheelhouse there. This account is going to hit its 1-year anniversary the first week of April, so I would like to be at least 36 by then, if not even higher, and possibly have this auger all the way to like tier 6 by the time I hit that 1-year anniversary, just to sort of, cement what's possible to accomplish within the first year of playing without spending any money. So, Darth Tardis, your goal is to get to level 38. What level are you currently? Because 38 is a big level. Obviously, you can start working on the jellyfish. You unlock deep space. You're kind of maxed out in terms of like your loot chests and things. Olympus, you want to go from 37 up to 42. That is definitely an attainable goal within a year. Excuse me. Keep working on those faction credits. Get that G4 Uncommon unlocked by year end. I feel like that's certainly within your wheelhouse, and you can get that done by then. Sure. Bel Air, you'd like to go from 42 all the way to 50 and get the Enterprise A and the Tribune. That is a big goal. So looking at this graphic here, I guess these are all the officers you could possibly get. Damar, Akatika, O'Brien, Kira, Cisco, Wayun, and Dukat. But apparently not, because they just got 3 Jadzia Dax shards. So I don't know what the hell's supposed to be in there. 3 officer, it's either 3 epics or 5 rares from any officer from the last 4 months. guess is I guess is what's available in that pack. All right then. Tardis, you're level 30, you're Ops 37. You've been playing the game for about 3 years. So your goal is to get to level 38. Well, that's an easy goal. That one you should probably get, depending how far along you are in 37. But even if you're just playing regularly, doing the battle pass, opening your treasury, which hopefully you have another free one coming up here very soon, should get you to 38 by maybe the end of this month, maybe the end of next month. And then long-term goals, maybe by end of the summer, you're up to 39. And then maybe you want to just hang tight there for a little bit. That's a natural camping spot for a lot of people to sit for a couple months, save up some resources. You want to be able to push from 39 to 42, at least to 41. 39 to 41, you kind of want to do as quickly as you can, because 40 is kind of a dead level. Your refinery pulls for G4 materials at Ops 40 are only commons. And you're going to need a lot of commons, but you also need a lot of uncommons and stuff like that too to upgrade things and to build things. So scrapping an extra Mayflower or Legionary or something like that while you're sitting at 39, saving up some of your other resources, your Par Steel and your Tritanium and stuff like that, so you can do more building upgrades. Get an extra scrap in to give yourself a little more of that 4-star material as well. And then you can hopefully make that jump a bit quicker. Yeah, I got Changeling Cure on the other account. You're right, I did. So, yep. How you could ever accrue 1 million faction credits is beyond me. Well, that is certainly a challenge, because you can only get, even if you're doing the scouts and all that kind of stuff in those types of refines. Well, I mean, the first thing you have to do is you have to get to a billion points. Looking at what you got here, in order to even get to the point where you can't even see these ship shards here on the lower level account. But if I go into my main account, so see, I'm only at 400 million or so with the Klingon. I can't get Coronar, or I can't get the G4 epics they unlock at Champion. So you got to get to 1 billion faction rep to be able to unlock this particular, there it is, Enterprise A. Just start refining those blueprints anyway. And then, yeah, they cost 1,600 a piece. That's 650 is just over 1 million faction credits. So they are ridiculously expensive. In terms of getting faction credits, if you're doing your scouts and things like that, you can get 1,500 to 2,000 a day doing your 4 missions, your spend a daily, killing the scouts. It takes a really long time, not going to lie, to get there. You can also get the blueprints from the away team store as well. I think once you get to Ops 48, you can start acquiring those. So you can start saving up that way. We also do have the new weekly pull as well. This Allegiance chest here, which gives you an extra 1,000 a week. So it's an extra 4,000 a month, or an extra 50,000 a year. Not much, but it helps a little bit. Every little bit counts when you're trying to get to 1 million, right? Brent says you give out 2,000 a day plus whatever you get on. Yep. Yeah, obviously getting through the away teams is going to be a good way to supplement those as well, to try to move that along faster. Let's go kill a few of these guys. Oh, he's going for the 29. Okay, that's fine. I'll take the 27s. Because I don't really care. 400. 500. $600. And we'll jump home, and that should give me the last 300 points I need. Tarnish, you've got the wife into playing. She's up to level 30. Okay. She's going to catch up to you. Careful. Better watch out. Are you guys in the same alliance? Is she playing on the same server and stuff as you? Because we have a few, husband-wife teams or things like that in our alliance as well, or on our server as well. One or two of them are in our actual alliance, and then we do have one where the wife does play in a different alliance because she's more of a part-time player. She just plays casually when she has fun, not as big into PvP and stuff. So they're not together in the same alliance. So you're in the same alliance. Awesome. That's cool. My wife would not play this game. She very much likes the background graphics and thinks like it's visually very interesting and appealing. But the game itself, first off, she hates any game that requires you to spend money. Like, if they're asking you to buy stuff to play it, like, no. She'll pay money for a game if it's a good game. She understands that mechanic. Games don't have to be free all the time. But at the same time, if every week or every month they're coming out with new stuff to sell you, and it's going to cost hundreds or thousands of dollars to really actually be competitive, no. that's not something that holds her interest at all. So, OPC hunting for 2-star, yeah. I think I said that already, but that's what you have to do when you can't mine it. You have to find other people who are mining it and take it from them. You hear a lot of Ops 50 players say skip 50 ships and get the 53 ships. That is very true, and we've talked about that before on this channel because of the costs involved. For two reasons. One, the Ops 53 faction ships only cost about 450,000 faction credits, so a little less than half of the faction credits to acquire. They do require you to move your reputation up a little bit, but it's not as terrible. But it really all depends on how quickly you can move. And usually, at this stage of the game, there are no free-to-play players that are Ops 50 and above. I think the highest guy is probably 47, 48 in that range. But I haven't heard much from him lately, so I'm not sure exactly where he's up to. But he's been playing since day one. And he's free-to-play, never spent $1. And he's, 47, 48, somewhere in that range. And that's 4 years in. And given how exponentially everything else costs as you go up and up in this game, the time involved takes longer and longer to move up. So moving 50 to 53 could very well take you a full year if you're not spending money. The reason most people say skip the 50 ships and just push to 53 and get one of those ships because they're better and they do way more damage and they're stronger and things like that is because those players are the ones spending money. They move quickly through stuff. And when they get to 50, they can just be like, you know what, I'm just going to drop $500 or $1,000, buy a bunch of packs, and jump a couple levels. Probably more than that, to be honest. But I mean, if they stretch it out over a couple of month period, $500 a month for like 4 or 5 months, and then they go from 50 to 53, you come out where they want to be at that point. If you're not really spending money and you're only spending like 20 bucks on a battle pass and that's really all you're buying, or you're not spending any money at all, 50 to 53, yeah, it's going to take you a really long time to get there. And, you know, that might be a thing where you might as well pick up a 50 to enjoy while you're making your way and moving your way up. So, and do it with your off faction. Like, I'm going to be triple locked here in a minute. Not a minute, but, you know, I'll have all 3 factions locked at champion at the 1 billion milestones in, you know, maybe 2 months or so to get the rest of this Klingon rep, depending how much longer this war goes that we're in. So I'm already sitting on 400,000 credits here. So if I get my Klingon credits to the point where I need to be, you know, I could consider buying the Hekda. I don't think this is really the one I want, though. I feel like the Tribune is the one that I want because of the firing pattern on it, and the way it works with the battleship strike team is just insanely good. But if that takes away all of my Romulan credits, I'll still have a big chunk here. Keep working on my Klingon rep as well, so that way when I get to 53, I can just buy the Klingon ship pretty quickly. So, $95 million more Fed rep to go, and you hit the 1 billion lock. Well, congrats, Deathkill. That's a big milestone. It's a big accomplishment. It takes a while to get there. It sure does. Julemans asks, what are the benefits of triple locking at 1 billion? Why not leave 2 at the 10 million lock and just focus on 1 faction? So that would be the way. That's essentially what you do. You leave 2 of them at 10 million, you grind 1 of them all the way up to 1 billion, and you lock it out at champion. If you're saying why go back and work on the other 2, it's so you can get the other ships. You know, you can get more of the higher level ships and things like that, because otherwise you're just locked into, you know, if you just went Federation and just locked Federation at 1 billion and completely ignored Klingon and Romulan, well, then you're working with the Newton and the Kelvin as your 2 ships. They're okay, but they're probably not, neither of them is the best at their level. Romulan would probably be the one to do if you were going to do just that, because you're looking at the Valdor and then the Pilum, probably the 2 most popular ships in their respective ranges, and then the Tribune is, I think, is the best of the G4 epics. But if you're just completely ignoring this, you don't give yourself any other options about things. Plus, what else are you going to do? You know, you locked it at 1 million. Do you want to just keep going? Because after 1 billion, it's 15 billion to get to the 3rd and final lock. So once you get to here, if you keep going with this, these 2 are just, you know, sitting there still at 10 million, 10 million. And then you have to recognize, well, what if I do decide I want something else? Well, now, you know, if I've grinded this up to like 4 billion points, and these 2 are still sitting here at 10 million, 10 million, and I decide, you know what, I really do want an Enterprise A. Well, now the grinding to get this one up to 1 billion to start getting that is going to set me back and drag this all the way back down. So it's kind of one of those things that, you know, I like to do in case you want to go different routes, in case you want to have access to higher level dailies and more faction credits and more recruit tokens to get more transporter patterns. You know, it's kind of all just feeding the beast. But you certainly could just, once you get all 3 to 10 million, just ignore 2 of them and just never go back and do it. That's entirely up to you. If that's the strategy you want to take and not worry about anything, you absolutely could do that.